As we discussed in the first cargo securement module, items of cargo must be secured to prevent them from leaking, spilling, shifting, or falling from the vehicle. The means of securement must be able to withstand a deceleration force in the forward direction of 0.8 Gs. This means that the cargo must not move if subjected to a force equal to 80% of its weight. Securing cargo to this standard ensures that it will not move if the driver applies maximum braking effort. The cargo must also be restrained from movement from side to side or toward the rear. In these directions, it must be able to withstand 0.5 Gs. In addition, the cargo must be restrained against vertical forces of 0.2 Gs. In this module, we'll focus on loads typically carried on flatbeds. We'll discuss the general requirements and include a few examples since these loads come in all shapes and sizes. At the end of the module, there will be information on how to access the federal regulations, which have specific information for 11 different commodities. Working load limits are used to specify the strength of tie-downs and other cargo securement devices. The working load limit is the maximum load that may be applied during normal service. It is usually assigned by the manufacturer and is generally equal to 1/3 of the ultimate braking strength of that device. The working load limit of a tie-down, associated connector, or attachment mechanism is the lowest working load limit of any of its components or the working load limit of the anchor points to which it is attached, whichever is less. This is based on the idea that the securement system is only as strong as its weakest component. Although the regulations do not require tie-downs to be marked or labeled with the working load limit, most manufacturers generally provide those markings. If the tie-down is not labeled or the markings are not legible, then the regulations contain a table which defines the working load limits of various types of tie-downs. When working with flatbed loads, chains and synthetic webbing are the two most common tie-downs that are used. The total combined working load limit of all tie-downs used on each article of cargo must be at least 1/2 the weight of the article secured. For example, the tie-downs used to secure cargo weighing 30,000 pounds would have to have a combined working load limit of at least 15,000 pounds. The way in which the tie-down is applied also has an effect on its working load limit as follows. If the tie-down is attached to the trailer at one end and either directly to the cargo at the other end, or passes through, over, or around the cargo and then is attached to the same side of the trailer, calculate that tie-down as 1/2 its working load limit. If the tie-down is attached to the trailer at one end and then passes through, over, or around the cargo and then attaches to the trailer on the other side, calculate that tie-down at its full working load limit. The number of tie-downs needed depends on the length and the weight of the cargo and whether or not it's restrained against forward movement by headerboard, bulkhead, or other cargo. The general rule is that cargo must have one tie-down for every 10 feet of length or fraction thereof. For example, if the item to be secured is 21 feet long, it must have 3 tie-downs as a minimum. You may need to use more depending on the weight of the item and the working load limit of the tie-downs. If the cargo is not secured against forward movement by a headerboard, bulkhead, or other cargo, then you must add one additional tie-down. Cargo that's 5 feet or less and does not weigh over 1,100 pounds does not require an extra tie-down, although you could certainly add it if you wish.